Okay guys, before we start the video, just quickly, First Man is so much more than just a YouTube channel. We've got digital products, we've got physical products. The digital products include courses, books, ebooks, etc. And the physical products is everything from supplements to clothing to grooming products to the paperback physical copy of our book. So the two links will be below. Go and check them out, guys. And now back to the video you came here to watch. Okay, guys, a quick type of video from me. Not my usual, like, 30 minutes to an hour. Sorry if I sound quite bunged up. Things have been crazy as of late. But when haven't they been in the last 4, 5, 6 months or so? So, it is what it is. I've kind of really got used to it now. It is what it is, guys. It'll all be over soon, March time, and I'll be saying, hey, look, we've got our own streaming platform. I'm on top of the world. This is great. So, I'm limping to the finish line, which sounds shit, but it's the truth. In this video, I want to talk about 2 productivity hacks that I've got for you guys, things that I use in my own life, okay? Now, number 1 is front loading. I see this all the time. Guys say, do you know what? I'll go to the gym this evening. I'll go after work. I'll go tonight. It'll be fine. Yeah, we'll go later. And then later becomes even later, and then later becomes even later, and then before they know where they are, they're like, it's too late now. The gym closes in like an hour. I wouldn't even get a proper workout. I'll go tomorrow. And this consistently happens. And I personally think this isn't just about the gym. This is about anything, but it's a great example. I personally think that whenever you have something difficult to do, and I remember Brian Tracy spoke about this years ago called Eat That Frog. If you had to eat a frog, you'd want to do it in the morning because it's the hardest, it's the hardest thing you're going to do rather than delay it and be thinking about it all day and putting it off. Just get it done. And it comes from the same policy, but I'm thinking more in an energy sense. Okay, I know for myself with the nature of my days and how tough they are and all the stuff that I've got to do, the last thing I would want to do is get to like 6, 7 p.m. at night, be absolutely shattered. All I want to do is go to bed. And I'm like, fuck, I haven't been to the gym today. Like, that would murder me. That would be the worst strategy ever. So my strategy is to front load everything. Front load as much as you can. Take all your hardest things to do and go and get them ticked as early as you can in the morning. That even goes for weekends too. So it's Saturday today. I woke up early. I shaved my head, which annoys me. I know for a lot of people they're like, "Oh, well, it's annoying. It pisses me off to do." So I woke up, shaved my head, cleaned my house, went to the gym, came back, showered, got on with my day, did all the nice things that I wanted to do, like this now, recording videos with you guys. I love this shit. But I really couldn't be bothered to shave my head. I really couldn't be bothered to clean my house. I really couldn't be bothered to go to the gym. But because I had time in the morning, I was very much more likely to go, I can do this. And my willpower was up, my energy was up. I was like, let's get it done. Whereas the way I'm feeling tonight, I'm a little bit lethargic because of whatever's going on here. And I just feel like heavy shouldered and everything. The boxing's taken its toll on me. Like, my whole body is tight and achy. I need to get a massage over the Christmas period. Maybe have 2 weeks off of the boxing or whatnot. And yeah, if I hadn't gone this morning, I wouldn't have gone at all. I definitely wouldn't have gone to the gym. I probably would have said I'll clean the house tonight. I maybe would have like made my beds or whatever, but I wouldn't have done the majority of it. I would have been very lazy. I wouldn't have done a lot. However, I've now had a very productive Saturday because I got the 3 hardest things done up front. And then the other stuff, like I had to go and do some shopping, some different things that I need to go and get. I needed to go and get some food, and I needed to do all these videos, and I needed to answer a bunch of emails and check in on a product. And I needed to make some notes on something as well to plan out, financially what we're going to do moving into 2023. So they're the nice things. They're the easy things. You can sit down with a cup of tea and a pen and a pad, and you can write all that shit down. That's easy. Cleaning the house. Ugh. Shaving my head. Ugh. Can't be bothered. Going to the gym. Fucking Saturday morning. Nobody's going, but I'll go. I tick them all straight away. So then it's like, no matter what you do for the rest of the day, even if you just do a bunch of easy shit, you've still had a pretty good day, right? You've still ticked the boxes that you intended to tick. Like, shaving the head's a bit different, but like, the house is clean. You've been to the gym. if that was your worst day of the year, you'd be like, it's not the worst. Like it's not worst case scenario, is it? It's not the end of the world, okay? So my advice to you guys in life in general is to front load everything. That's why we say sacrifice your teens and 20s, because it's easier to do it in your teens and 20s when you've got no ties and when you've got a bag of energy, rather than when you're like 38 years old, you're floundering a little bit, your energy levels are a bit low, you've got 3 kids, you've got a mortgage, your wife, and all that stuff. Like just makes it really difficult. Or you've got a job that you can't afford to lose because of the family, the kids, and whatever, and the mortgage. You can't afford to lose it. So it's like, that's 10 times more stressful to try and start a business. You won't have as much time and whatever. Whereas like in your teens and 20s, you've got no ties, you've got all the time in the world, you can use your money selfishly. So I've always said to front loads, but I've never told you about front loading your day. And it's just such a good strategy. Doesn't matter what you do, like the hardest thing that you have to do that day that you're dreading and you're putting off, like as long as it's not scheduled in for a certain time, just do it first thing. Just tick that box, just get it out of the way. It makes you really, really productive. That's why I always say go to the gym in the morning first thing, because you never know what's going to happen for the rest of the day. Certain weather could happen. It could be like a storm later in the day and you're like, I don't want to go outside now. It's snowed. It's dangerous to drive. As soon as you get that opportunity when you wake up, go to the gym. Go and get that box ticked. You know, I think before you go to work in the morning, you could plausibly hit the gym, clean the house, get some business stuff done that you're working on for yourself, which you would have done after work. Make it to work on time. You know, show up looking good because you've been up early, you've been doing stuff, whatever. You can kind of 60% it in work. Do you know what I mean? In a 9 to 5 job, it's not too much of an issue. You come home, you're shattered. You can go to bed. You can relax. You can sit in front of the TV if you really wanted to, because you've ticked a lot of boxes that day. I think that's far better than getting home from work and being like, oh, I've got so much to do. Like, I've done both, and, you know, the first one's a much better strategy. Now, point 2 is a productivity hack. You know, it could be for everybody, but I think very specifically for men. And this isn't something to shit on women, but from my experience in life, I've found men to be more accountable than women. So if a woman says, yeah, I'll meet you at that time on that day, there's a high chance she still might flake. Even if she's a good friend of yours or a family member or whatever, there's still a high chance something will happen, something will pop up, or I can't make it because in reality she just felt tired or was just having an insecure day or something like that, you know? Whereas as a man, it's like, I said I'd be there, I'm going to show up, okay? And we have something in our brains, I don't know whether it's like honor or you don't want to be called a pussy by the boys, I don't know what it is, but you don't like letting people down. I've seen this trait in men in general. Men go, but I did say I was going to do it for him, so I'll show up. Whereas a lot of women, from my experience, would go, oh, I don't know, I just feel tired, I don't really want to do it today. You know, men say that too, but they still go and fucking do it. Okay, like I said, I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but from my experience, I've seen that a lot. Use that to your favor. So you guys know, I've said stuff about it's not how much money you make, it's what you do with it. So I went on this march where I was like, I'm going to hire a boxing coach, a sprint coach. I might even get like a chess coach or something, or play chess more often at a club, just to jog your brain. You know, it makes you think differently. Language teachers, you know, everything that you could possibly have. I was going to go to acting classes, and I realized this is actually a really good productivity hack. Okay, I stumbled across this one by accident, but it's working for me. Is as long as, and you don't have to do it every day because it's tiring, but as long as, you know, 5 days of the week you have something that you have to be held accountable for, it's very hard to be lazy. So if I say to my boxing coach, Tuesday 3 p.m. I'll be there. I'll see you next week, buddy. I'll see you next week, you know, and you've paid the money. It's very unlikely that on Tuesday at 3 p.m. I'm going to be like, no, but I can't be bothered. I feel like that sometimes, but I still go because I'm like, well, he's my friend. He's my coach. I don't want him thinking I'm soft, you know, because we're doing something masculine. I don't want to be like, hey, buddy, I'm tired. Like, I'm not a give-up merchant. So even if I'm having a rough day, and I've said to him, I was like, can we move it to the morning in 2023? Because if I wake up and I'm having a shit day and I'm like, I can't be fucking bothered today. If I've got to go and box at like 8 or 9 a.m. and it forces you to get up, get ready, you know, just because I shower before I go to the gym. So it's productive stuff. It's energizing stuff. And then you shoot down to the gym, you're going to box, you're going to put in a bit of work. You know, maybe 10 minutes in, you might be like, boom, I've got that spark. I'm feeling it now. Well, you're going to carry that through to the rest of your day. Whereas when it's a bit later, like it can take a while. You're like, well, I've got that to do later on. You know, I'm not really feeling it today. I'm a bit sluggish. And then you get your high at like 3 p.m. You don't want that. You want that at like 8, 9 a.m. Okay. So I've been trying to schedule in as many things, like one thing on a Monday, 9 a.m., 8, 9 a.m. Tuesday, same thing. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So every day you get up, you have no excuse. You know you've got something. You know you have to be held accountable because you're like, I can't let that person down. I've asked them to come to the house to do an hour of language, whatever. I can't sit there stinking. I feel fucking lazy today, but I'm going to have to go and get in the shower. I'm going to have to make myself look presentable. You know, I'm going to have to tidy the house, take those bins out because I've got somebody coming to the house. You know, and that keeps you on your toes. And on weekends, you could be meeting a woman and that you do it again. You're like, I better go and wash the sheets and, you know, and do some laundry because I don't want her thinking I'm a bum. I better clean up a little bit. You know, the bathroom's looking a little bit messy. I better. And that's a great productivity hack for me. You know, always having somebody or something or an event to keep you accountable. Now, when you get stupidly busy and your life's crazy, it's not going to matter. You're always going to have something to do, right? But I've found that is amazing. You know, you can't really have a down day. You can't really have a bad day because you're like, well, I feel like shit, but I've got acting class later. So you go in, you start having a chat with everybody. Next thing you know, your spirits are high. You're like, oh, actually, today's pretty good. You know, I think I'm going to go and, you know, you can wake up in the morning, go and do boxing. Now you're on a high. You're like, I'm going to lift a few more weights. I'm going to shoot home. I've got a couple of things to do today. My energy's up. Testosterone's up. I feel great. I've had a chat with my coach. We're laughing and joking. You know, you flirted with a few girls that day. You're like, oh, I feel great. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that for a man to start the day in that strength, in that manner, okay? So that's my 2 productivity hacks for you guys. I hope it helps. I hope it helps you guys because I know that probably the most common comment that I've had since I started this channel is, how do I get more energy? How do I become more productive? How do I do more with my day and my life? I find I get a little bit lazy, like, you know, and that sort of thing. And if you're finding, you know, Saturday and Sunday, you're just doing nothing. You're sat around the house, you're smoking weed, watching Netflix. Schedule some stuff in. Schedule something in. I've got sprint training Saturday morning, 9 a.m. If I'm not there, that person's going to be pissed. Okay, I have to be there. I have to be on time as well. Otherwise, it's rude. That's something that as men, we really, you know, I'm not saying women don't completely have it, but as men, we've got that kind of merit and honor, and it's my duty to show up on time and be punctual and, you know, show up looking presentable. There's no excuse for showing up looking scraggly. Do you know what I mean? So that was my emails going off there, guys. Probably a good cue to go and check what that was. So it's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'll see you all soon.